Welcome back. I'm here at the Greenbrier for day 3 of the New Orleans Saints training camp. Now, today was the first day the players got to practice with the pads on. It's a day that both coaches and players say they've been looking forward to. Virginia Tech football falling 45-24 to Tennessee on Saturday in the battle at Bristol in front of the largest crowd to ever watch a college football game. It was a matchup that saw the Hokies dominate the first quarter until Tennessee seized the momentum in the second quarter and held on to it for the rest of the evening. 0-4 in October, but 1-0 to start November. West Virginia gets back to 500 on Saturday after a 31-26 win over Texas Tech here in Morgantown in a game which the Mountaineers never trailed. One more day to go before West Virginia and UCLA meet here at the Charleston Civic Center for the WNIT championship game. Now, the Mountaineers have played every game so far in this competition in the Mountain State, but Coach Mike Carey and his players say regardless of location, they're just happy that they have an opportunity to play 40 more minutes. Second round action of the 2015 Greenbrier Classic continues at the old white TPC. Now, the big story coming into today, Tiger Woods. He birdied his final 3 holes on Thursday to post a first round of 66. Could he keep up that high level of play on Friday? The grand opening of the center court at Creekside, it was certainly that. It was grand. And remember, in September, Sampras is coming back to White Sulphur Springs. He'll be joined by John McEnroe, Jim Courier, and James Blake for the Greenbrier Champions Tennis Classic. Well, after a schedule change made over the weekend, today marked the final day for the Greenbrier portion of the New Orleans Saints training camp, 2016 being the final year of that original 3-year contract, and head coach Sean Payton continues to be impressed by the facilities in White Sulphur Springs.
It gives you a real secluded environment, which I think for a period of time, and that's why we've tried to split it and still have that training camp at home, you know, for our fans there. But this facility is I think, very conducive to getting your team ready to play. It allows the players to have that focus.
Payton isn't the only one of the Saints who would like to see the team return to the Greenbrier in the future. Several of the players say they've enjoyed holding training camp in southern West Virginia.
It's nice. It's nice. I love it up here. The weather's great. The people's great. They treat us as first class. So, no, I done enjoyed it the last 2 years I've been here.
I can't fathom that anyone is in a better situation. I mean, the facilities are incredible. Everything is close. The food is good. The weather's perfect. I mean, I can't imagine being in a better place. I mean, a place that's better for getting a team ready.
Streiff has been with the franchise since 2006, and like Payton, he is a firm believer that having practice at the Greenbrier is not a reason the Saints have gone 7-9 each of the past 2 seasons.
I don't know if a hot camp makes you hold on to a football or protect it more or run better. I don't buy that. And the reality is we weren't good enough the last 2 years to win more than 7 games.
The Saints are now headed to Houston for 2 practices and a preseason game with the Texans as they continue to put in the work they started in White Sulphur Springs.
I think guys understand this is an important time of the year for a lot of these players. You know, every one of these games is a chance for them to turn an eye. You want to see improvement, and you want to see, you know, how guys play from week 1 to week 2, and so I think they're smart enough to understand that. We talk about it.
It's another chance, another stepping stone for our team to see where we at, especially as an offensive unit to go up against another top 5 defense. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Kind of waiting camp for that like lull practice where, like, you know, you go 5-6 days in a row and you're hitting, and then you get that practice where, like, it seems like no one wants to be there. And I didn't necessarily feel that practice this year, and we've got a lot left to do. But I think camp was positive in that I think guys came to work and we got a lot out of people.
Good evening. 2016 has been a tough year on the gridiron for Marshall, but the Thundering Herd are coming off a win over Middle Tennessee in which they kept the Blue Raiders scoreless in the second half. Now, this Saturday, Doc Holliday's squad has its final road game of the season when they go south to face Florida International. The Golden Panthers have not beaten the Herd since joining Conference USA in 2013. FIU fired head coach Ron Turner back in September, and this week announced former college and NFL head coach Butch Davis will take over starting next season. Kickoff in Miami is 7 o'clock on Saturday. Marshall closes their season the next week against Western Kentucky in Huntington. Well, Bluefield College football ended its season this past weekend, and today the Mid-South Conference announcing its postseason awards. 6 Rams named to the first or second teams in the league's East Division. On the first team, offensive lineman Michael Hinckley, along with Alex Martin, the Rams' leading rusher in 2016, while Frank Brooks led the team in tackles. 3 players named to the second team: Jedediah Halla, Tracy Parker Jr., and Sean Cobb. Well, Concord men's basketball is 3 games into its new season, with the Mountain Lions at 2-1, having won on Tuesday at Alderson Broadus, and that puts them in a good mood as they start Mountain East play on Saturday. The Mountain Lions do benefit this season from several returning starters in Aaron Miller and Michael Sanchez, and a few others who have moved from the bench to the starting lineup, but the bench still providing key contributions, as seen not just in the game against the Battlers, but also their 2 games in Athens last weekend. And head coach Tom May expects that to continue as the season progresses.
And those guys coming off the bench, they know at any time they have to be ready. Mike Hall, Pierce Mowry, Cam Shannon, Troy Gibson, Pat Eugene, all those guys. They know, based on our practices and how competitive they are, that they may get their shot if foul trouble or whatever guy gets tired. So they come in, they play extremely hard, and do the things we ask them to do there defensively and offensively for us.
Well, the Lady Lions will also enter the weekend in a positive mood after winning their first game of the season last night at Bluefield State, a game where Concord established momentum in the first half before going on to win by 28. Senior Alexis Lowry led the Lady Lions with 25 points, including 6 3-pointers. And head coach Kenny Osborne says the way she has performed the first 3 games of the season reflects the fact that it is her final year of college basketball, and she's taking advantage of it.
And I think she accepted that role last year. You look around and at the end of your junior year, like it's, oh, heck, I got 1 year left. And, she made a commitment in spring and summer, and she just has been very good all fall and our first 3 games. I mean, again, she basically took over the game in the third quarter last night. She carried us the other 2 games up at Fairmont. So, again, she is doing what a senior's supposed to do.
And that does it for Sports at 6. We'll be right back.